Severe weather for millions of Americans in the Midwest, with Missouri, my home state, at the center of it all. Meteorologist Samara Theodore is here with the latest. Good morning, Samara. Look at that video in Virginia.
Look at it. You know what's so interesting? It looks like the rain is really making the wind visible. And that was the primary character as we headed through yesterday. That's because we saw wind gusts over 65 miles per hour in this Virginia area. Unfortunately, someone lost their life. Hackensack, New Jersey, flooding, winds bringing down trees, leaving this entire neighborhood in disarray. Believe it or not, we could be in for more of that today. Walk with me. Take a look. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 a.m. if you live up in Grand Island, Omaha. Here's that flood watch where Rhiannon was talking about her home state in Missouri. That's where we're going to see very heavy rain, and this is a substantial flood threat. They're at a 3 out of 5 right now. This is through Sunday morning. Now, as we time it out, notice how your Saturday night starts to get real dicey if you live in Kansas City, Kirksville, up to Davenport, down to Wichita along I-70. This is where we could see the next biggest threat for severe weather, a level 3 out of 5 with destructive winds, tornadoes possible. And I'll leave you with this. If you live on the East Coast on Sunday, we could see more rain, strong winds, and lots of lightning. Rhiannon?
All right, Samara, we'll keep our eye on that. Thank you. Now to the new details overnight in that mass shooting in West Texas. 1 person killed, 10 others injured, and the suspect, authorities say, had a violent encounter with police just 2 days before. ABC's Alex Stone joins us now with the latest. Hey, Alex, good morning.
Good morning, Rhiannon. Yeah, very scary. Bystanders went diving for cover. The victims just happened to be in the area as bullets went flying around them. And this morning, we know the shooter was on the run from police.
Gunfire on the streets of Midland, Texas, as a man who police say was wanted by the U.S. Marshals shot at police and pedestrians who happened to be in the area.
There's at least 1 victim that is dead on the scene.
It unfolded at around 8 Friday morning. Police had been looking for 45-year-old Victor Mata Villarreal after they say he fled a traffic stop and opened fire at a Midland officer late Wednesday night. He was wanted for attempted capital murder of an officer. But then Friday, police say they got a call of an active shooter. When police arrived, they allege Villarreal began shooting at them and civilians. Officers seen here crouching for cover. Villarreal allegedly running into an abandoned veterinary clinic and barricading himself inside while a SWAT team tried to negotiate his surrender.
We moved to deny more targets to this active shooter. Then we secured the perimeter and began making a plan to get everybody safe and to bring a safe resolution to this as safe as we could.
Villarreal died inside that building after a 4-hour standoff. The victims were rushed to a local hospital. 1 victim died and 10 others injured.
Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and everyone impacted by this tragic incident.
At new this morning, police now identifying the victim who died as 62-year-old Edward Scott. And this morning, 5 of the 10 who were injured have been released from the hospital, and they've now gone home. Whit.
All right, Alex Stoner, thanks to you this morning. Now to the war in Iran. Sources tell ABC News the 2 sides appear to be closer than ever to a deal to end the fighting and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is in Washington with the details. Selena, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Whit. And this is the strongest sign we've seen yet that the U.S. and Iran are getting close to an agreement to end this war. A senior administration official telling us there's an 80 to 85% chance a deal is signed in the coming days. And Iran's foreign minister says an agreement has never been closer. As for what's in this deal, that U.S. official says it would reopen the Strait of Hormuz, that critical waterway, and lift the U.S. blockade. But look, this is just a memorandum of understanding. A lot would still have to be hashed out over a 60-day period. The official says the deal, quote, leads to the dismantling of Iran's nuclear program, the U.S. taking the enriched material, destroying it, and removing it from the country. But there's no specifics, Whit, about how all of that would happen.
And Selena, what more are you learning about what Iran would get out of this deal?
Well, potentially a lot. The senior administration official says if Iran holds up their end of the bargain, they'll get relief from crushing economic pressure and reintegrate into the global economy. That could include relief from U.S. sanctions and $24 billion in frozen Iranian assets. But here's something really important to keep in mind as we talk about all of this. Trump says Iran will promise never to build or obtain a nuclear weapon. But that promise is not new. In fact, it was in the very first paragraph of the nuclear deal negotiated under President Obama, a deal that Trump tore up and still repeatedly criticizes to this day, Gio.
All right, Selena Wang there in Washington. Selena, thank you so much. Meanwhile, President Trump says U.S. forces killed a notorious Venezuelan cartel leader in a military strike. The president posted a video of the strike on social media, and he wrote that U.S. forces coordinated with Venezuelan leaders to target Hector Guerrero Flores. Officials claim that Guerrero Flores was one of the top leaders of the Tren de Aragua cartel, also known as TDA. Last year, Guerrero Flores was indicted in New York federal court on charges of racketeering and lending support to terrorists. Rhiannon?
And this morning, the final preparations are underway for President Trump's UFC show set to take place tomorrow outside the White House. ABC's Olivia Rubin joins us now with the latest on this. We know it's also the president's birthday tomorrow.
Exactly, and that's sort of a main talking point for critics right now. But the show will go on after a federal judge overnight rejected a last-minute lawsuit that tried to stop a cage fight from unfolding on the South Lawn. The lawsuit claimed the star-studded event is, quote, deeply corrupt, using public land to benefit President Trump and his allies, noting UFC is selling VIP packages for as much as $1.5 million a person. But the judge said they couldn't prove they were personally harmed by it and sided with the Trump administration. Now, a weekend full of events will kick off in just a matter of hours with the main event on Sunday night, when the White House says about 4,000 private guests will watch a series of matches beneath a custom-built 600-ton claw. You saw it right there, and they say more than 100,000 eager viewers are set to watch nearby from the ellipse. Now, this unprecedented event is put on by UFC and Dana White, a longtime friend and political supporter of the president, to the tune of $60 million. President Trump says it's totally free, but it's not clear how much it's costing taxpayers and security, with seven federal agencies helping out. And while the White House says this is all meant to celebrate America's 250th birthday, critics say it's nothing more than a payday for UFC and a party for President Trump's 80th birthday, which also falls on Sunday, guys.
All right, Olivia, thanks so much. Crews now starting to work to remove President Trump's name as well from the Kennedy Center. Scaffolding and a tarp went up over the signage overnight. The removal getting underway hours after the center missed a court-ordered deadline to scrap Trump's name from the facade. Around midnight, the center asked a judge to move the deadline to noon today because area thunderstorms hampered efforts on Friday. That request was approved.
Okay, wet this morning. Golf legend Phil Mickelson is under fire after reports of alleged misconduct at a popular golf club in San Diego. And ABC's Faith Abube is here now with the details on this. Faith, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Gio. This is a club the golf icon has been a member of for decades. The serious allegation is coming as a shock, but this morning, Mickelson's team saying that it was all just a misunderstanding.
This morning, golfing legend Phil Mickelson's camp downplaying allegations of misconduct involving a female employee at a California golf club that reportedly got the 55-year-old kicked out. According to this Golf Digest report citing anonymous sources, Mickelson approached a woman at the Farms Golf Club outside San Diego this past spring and allegedly made, quote, non-consensual and inappropriate physical contact. The article claims the employee rejected his alleged advances and immediately reported the incident to her supervisors. Club officials reportedly confronted the six-time golf champion on the course and then kicked him off the premises in the middle of his round.
Phil has been around the Farms Golf Club for at least 20 years, probably closer to 30. This is a very meaningful place to Phil. And so for him to be implicated in something like this at a beloved course of his where he's been a regular for decades is kind of incredible.
In a statement, the club telling ABC News they conducted a thorough independent investigation of the incident and took decisive action. This individual is no longer a member. A spokesperson for Mickelson calling the incident a misunderstanding that has since been cleared up. But Mickelson's attorneys firing back at the Golf Digest report, citing serious errors, telling ABC News, quote, while Phil's full attention is devoted to a private family health matter, he has retained defamation counsel and is determined to hold accountable any publication or individual trafficking in speculation or false rumors. Mickelson is not facing any criminal charges related to the allegations. The San Diego County Sheriff's Office confirming to ABC News that no possible victim or witness has come forward to report a crime, and they have not located any evidence to show an assault has occurred.
Phil Mickelson.
Mickelson, a married father of 3, announced back in April that he plans to step away from competition to attend to a family health matter. For decades, the Hall of Fame golfer has been a force on the course, attracting millions in sponsorships. But in recent years, he's been embroiled in controversies, from repaying nearly $1 million in an insider trading case in which he was not criminally charged, to losing major sponsorships after calling the Saudis who backed Live Golf an expletive.
And again, guys, Mickelson has not been charged with any crimes related to that golf club incident, but the sheriff's office is making it clear that if anyone were to come forward with evidence, they would open an investigation. In fact, they are encouraging any potential witnesses to come forward. In the meantime, though, Mickelson's lawyers tell us that the Golf Digest reporting is now under legal review.
All right, we'll have to see what happens here, Faith. Thank you. We turn now to Elon Musk, waking up a trillionaire this morning after taking SpaceX, the company he founded from his garage, public. ABC's Rena Roy is here now with more and what it could mean for your savings. Good morning, Rena.
Hey, good morning, Rhiannon. Yeah, this is big. In fact, it is the biggest IPO in history, and it makes Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. You can see the SpaceX team ringing the opening bell Friday. The company makes rockets and operates Starlink satellites while focusing its future in AI. Its stock opened at $150 per share and ended the day 19% higher at nearly $161, boosting its value to around $2 trillion. Now, for context, tech companies like Apple and Google are in the $4 trillion range. You don't have to buy SpaceX to own it. It is being fast-tracked into the NASDAQ 100 and other indexes, so most of us with 401ks own funds that will be forced to buy it. But critics say it could be high risk. That astronomical valuation depends on lofty goals like AI data centers in space and 1 million humans living on Mars. Some experts warn investors could face losses if the stock falls. Whit?
Okay, Rena Roy, thanks so much. This morning, the Pentagon is releasing more UFO files. Some of the files include videos like this one from last summer in the Northeast. An eyewitness capturing these orbs about 25 feet off the ground, describing their motion as silent and smooth. Another video from October 2024, also from the Northeast, shows a light hovering above a pond, changing shape and brightness. Both videos are being investigated.
All right, fascinating, Whit. And to World Cup fever now. Soccer fans are thrilled for the start of the games in the U.S. The U.S. taking on Paraguay overnight in decisive victory here. And ABC's Christian Cordero is in Los Angeles with all the highlights. Hey, Christian, good morning.
Hey, Gio, good morning. So remember the name Folarin Balogun. The Brooklyn-born, London-raised striker scored 2 sensational goals, helping Team USA put its best foot forward.
Team USA is flying high at the top of the group. More than 70,000 soccer fans packing SoFi Stadium to witness the first men's World Cup match on U.S. soil in 32 years. Star players Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie combined to force the early goal. An own goal thanks to Paraguay midfielder Damian Bobadilla. But it was Folarin Balogun who helped seal the deal with 2 world-class finishes. The game ending in style thanks to this outside-the-foot shot by Gio Reyna. Final score, 4-1. For Team USA, expectations are high. The team is favored to advance out of their group, with some predicting they could win their first knockout game since 2002.
We care about, wearing our last name on the back of our kit and going out there representing our country.
So the U.S. plays Australia next on Friday in Seattle. Then there's one more group stage match the following week that is back here in L.A. against Turkey. Gio?
Well, Christian, I know you're a fan, so you were at the match last night. What was the energy like there?
Absolutely electric, and quite frankly, a reminder of how far the game has come here in the U.S. These were 70,000 people who were invested in this U.S. match, quite frankly, like I've never seen before. It was a super loud, passionate crowd. The fans we spoke with before the match actually said that they wanted to witness U.S. men's national team history, and that they did. This was the biggest World Cup win by the men's team since 1950. 30 deaths.
Okay, incredible, right?
Great stat there.
Yeah. All right, Christian, thanks so much. And by the way, speaking of throwbacks, take a look at this. The last time the United States men's team played on U.S. soil in a World Cup, that was it against Brazil. Went to that game.
That's great.
You know what's amazing? My daughters are about the same age right now, and so we get to watch it together.
And you posted a photo watching with them as well.
So much fun.
And he's all dressed up just the same.
And I grew into those teeth too, by the way, eventually, I think.
That was great.
That was a great one.